Hello, everyone, and welcome to class. My name is Kay, your English teacher, first additional language for grade 9. Thank you for joining me, and let's get started. Okay, guys, before we start, I just want to thank everyone who submitted their work today. I will be marking it over the weekend, and I will make sure to give you feedback the earliest on Monday. Okay. Right, so today we are doing comprehension and language. My objectives are for you to be able to listen for information and respond accordingly to structured questions, okay? And also for you to understand the use of direct and indirect speech. Okay. Right, I have a sentence in front of you, okay? It says, Dante Adams said, I am going to be late today for class. Second one. Just move this out of the way. Okay, the second one is saying, Dante Adams said that he was going to be late today for class, okay? So I want you to do two things for me, okay? The first thing is I want you to tell me what is the difference between these two sentences. And secondly, what is it that they have in common, okay? So you can type your answer on our chat box. First thing, what is it that is different between these two sentences? And secondly, what is it that they have in common? Okay. The first one says, Dante Adams said, I am going to be late today for class. The second one, Dante Adams said that he was going to be late today for class. So what's the difference and what is it that they have in common? Please type your answer on our chat box. Anything, guys, that comes to mind. It doesn't have to be a correct answer. Anything that you can think of, okay? See. Pamela is saying the difference are that the first one is direct speech and the second one is indirect speech. Portia is saying the first one is present tense, the second one is past tense. Both of you guys are correct. Oh, I see Books. Books said one is direct and one is indirect. And guess what? All of you guys got that correct. Okay. So, as you guys have said, one is direct and the other one is indirect speech, or what you call reported speech. Okay. So with direct speech, it codes or reports the exact words spoken. Okay. The purpose is to report exactly what was said by using quotation marks, whereby with indirect speech, that is not the case. Okay. The purpose is to report what was said without having to use quotes. Okay. And I think it's Portia, she mentioned something very interesting, that the other one is past tense and the other one, it was present tense. So that's what happens with indirect speech. The tenses change, okay? An example would be, as you can see from the first sentence that I gave you guys, I said, I am going to be late today for class. That's what Dante said, okay? But then if you are reporting the same thing using reported speech, it changes to Dante said that he was, okay, he was going to be late, not that he is going to be late. Okay, so it's very important for you to note that with indirect speech, the tenses changes, okay? Right. So I have a couple of examples here. I have role play, play scripts, and dialogues, okay? So what I want to know, would these fall under direct or indirect speech? Dialogues, play scripts, and role play, they fall under which category? What do you guys think? Portia said direct speech. Okay, why are you saying direct speech? Why do they fall under direct speech? Which is correct, by the way. What does everyone else think, guys? Why would dialogues, role play, and play scripts fall under direct speech? Okay, we've just mentioned it like now. Okay, Portia is saying because people talk for themselves and it is not quoted. Well, okay. So, if you guys have done role play or play scripts or even dialogues, you will always notice that there are codes, okay? In fact, what you call invented commas. Okay, so there's always codes, okay, of the exact words that were said. Okay, if we have two characters, Tabo and Cindy, whenever it's Tabo's turn to speak or Tabo is saying something, there will be codes, okay? Right, and then what about summaries and overviews? Explaining as well as statements. So if you were to write any of these things, would you use direct or indirect speech? Summaries. A couple of weeks ago, in fact, about a week or two ago, we did summaries. Were you using quotes when you were writing summaries? Okay, please share your answers in our chat box so that I know that you guys are following and you are understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so summaries and explaining as well as statements, they would fall under indirect speech or what you call reported speech, okay? Because what happens is that when you're writing a summary, you are not saying exactly what was said, but you are just giving us a brief overview of whatever it is that you read or attended, okay? You are still telling us what had happened, but you are just using your own words. So in that case, when you are using your own words but reporting what was said, you do not use quotes, okay? So that's the difference between indirect and direct speech, and those are examples of the two, okay? Right, so we are going to read an extract from Flowers of the Nation by Sandile Memela. Remember, we had done a review on this book. So today I'm just going to share the extract for you guys. So the audio for this extract is quite low. I just need you to make sure that you pay attention, you follow, and you increase the volume on your side so that you are able to hear, okay? Once we are done, we are going to tackle some questions, okay? So while the audio is playing, just make sure that you are following on your side as well.
Teacher, please just verify your audio.
Sorry, Kobe. Sorry, Kobe, I didn't get that.
Your audio disappeared there for a second, but you're back now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys, that's the end of our audio. I hope you are following as well on your side. We are going to move on to comprehension questions, okay? Please let me know if you would like to read the passage for the second time. Okay, I want to share the comprehension questions. There we go. Okay, so we are going to do part A together and mark it before we move on to part B, which is the language section, and you will be doing some reported speech, which is what we've just spoke about, okay? So remember, guys, reported speech and indirect speech are the same things, okay? It's the same thing, just different words, okay? So you can use either one. It's the same thing. So let's go to part A, which is our comprehension. We have just read it. I hope you guys were following as well while you were listening to the audio. So the first question is, what do you think Zenzele couldn't stand any longer? If you look at the first paragraph, it says, finally, Zenzele couldn't stand it any longer. So what is it that she couldn't stand any longer? So you are going to just write the answer. Don't have to repeat the question. And then number 2, what is wrong with Zenzele's father? Okay, remember, we read a review on this book. So if you remember the review, and as well as if you are following from this extract, then you will know what is wrong with Zenzele's father. Okay. That question is, why did Uncle Vusi move out of Diepkloof? The answer, it is there as well. It starts from the second, if you can read from the second paragraph, okay, second line, it will tell you, okay. Then fourth question, explain why Zenzele thinks that her uncle must help them, okay. Give 3 reasons, okay. So you'll find that in the extract as well. And then your final question is, do you think that Uncle Vusi should help his brother? Give reasons for your answer. So this is out of your own understanding and knowledge. It's not necessarily within the book. So it's up to you. So if you say, yes, you think that Uncle Vusi should help them, then you should state your reasons, okay? If you say no, then you should state your reasons as well. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys few minutes to complete these questions, and once you're done, please indicate on our chat box and then we will have a discussion. If there's anything that you don't understand, please ask away on our chat box and then I'll respond to you. And when you are finished as well, just indicate in our chat box so that I know that everyone is finished writing. Pamela, no, it is not. It is just an extract from the book. But still, don't worry, you won't get lost. You'll still be able to answer the questions. Everything that is being asked today from the comprehension, it is from the extract, okay? Guys, you must get to a point whereby you are familiar and comfortable with comprehensions, because you will be dealing with comprehensions until you reach matric. When you're doing English first additional language, you will be writing a lot of comprehensions, okay? And you will come across passages and extracts that are even longer than this one, okay? So you just need to be comfortable with going through them and being able to use your comprehension analysis skills, okay? You only have a minute. I can't give you guys the whole day to do this. It's just 5 questions. And remember, the final question, it's your own general knowledge or your own understanding. Is there anyone who's finished? If not, which number are you guys still busy with? No, you guys can't carry on to language. You can only do so when I say so, okay? Unless if you are finished, you can start so long, but once we start marking, I will need your attention. Okay, Portia is busy with number 4. Guys, mostly it's very important for me to know what are your thoughts for number 5. So I would like for everyone to make sure that they answer number 5. I want to hear your interesting thoughts regarding number 5. Don't worry about the second part, which is language. We can even deal with language tomorrow. But it's very important for me to know how you guys are doing regarding your comprehension analysis skills. Right, can we mark the work? Is everyone finished? Okay, is Portia the only one who's finished? James, which number are you doing? Which number are you still busy with? Okay, please quickly finish. Okay, guys, let's start marking. Otherwise, we are going to be stuck in part A. So for number 1, what do you think Zenzele couldn't stand any longer? What do you guys have for number 1? It is here from the extract. It is also from, you can find it from the review that we did, if you guys don't forget. Okay, so basically, Zenzele couldn't bear seeing her father being ill and not doing anything about it. She was afraid of being an AIDS orphan. So if you have anything, yes, so Portia, you can give yourself a mark. That is still fine. It's correct. So if you said anything along the lines of her not being able to stand seeing her father ill or her father sick, or her being afraid of being an AIDS orphan, then that is still fine. Okay. So number 2, what is wrong with Zenzele's father? From what you understand, what is wrong with her father? He has AIDS, that's correct. Thank you, James. Right. Number 3, why did Uncle Vusi move out of Diepkloof? Why did Uncle Vusi move out of Diepkloof? Guys, I even hinted the answers. I even showed you where to look for answers. Okay, so basically he wanted to be near his work. He wanted to be near his work. So if you said that, you can give yourself a mark. Okay, so number 4 says, explain why Zenzele thinks that her uncle must help them. Give 3 reasons, okay? So the first one is that he is their father's older brother, okay? In fact, he's the only brother. He is successful as well. He has to show them love. That's correct. Portia, thank you. He is family. That is still correct. He is their blood. And the relationship means that he must show love for them. So basically, all the answers that Portia just shared. Okay. He's their father's older brother. He is family. He is their blood. And He must show them love. He has to care for his family. That's correct, guys. Right. So number 4. Oh, we've just answered number 4. Then number 5, do you think that Uncle Vusi should help his brother? Give reasons for your answer. So basically, what is number 5 asking you is that, do you agree with number 4? Okay, because Zenzele thinks that her uncle should help them. But you, looking from the outside, do you agree with her? Or do you also feel like he is not obligated to help them? Just because it's family doesn't mean that he's obligated to help them. In fact, just think of yourself. If you were the uncle, what would you do? So your brother or sister is sick, and your niece and nephews, they need your help. So depending on your relationship with your brother or sister, would you assist them? Or if you no longer want anything to do with them, you wouldn't help them, what would you guys do? Okay, James is saying he has to, yes, because he has to care for his brother. Okay. Portia is saying yes, because Uncle Vusi can maybe afford the treatment. Yes, because if you remember from the extract, it is saying that the uncle is very rich, okay? And he has to show love and care about them. Right. Okay, I like your answers, but now the question is, this is my question to you guys, is he obligated to do so? Is he obligated to do so? Is he obliged to do so? Or he can do it out of his own kindness? Just because he is blood with his brother, does that mean he is obligated to do so? Okay, Portia is saying he can do it out of his own kindness, which is very good. What do others think? What do you guys think? What are your answers? Okay, while you guys are still thinking about that, we are going to... Okay, James is saying he has to do it out of love. Okay. Thank you guys for your answers. They were very interesting, and you guys are very kind. I'm sure you would do the same for your siblings. Okay, let's move on to part B, which is language. Okay. So rewrite the following sentences in reported speech. Okay, remember guys, I said reported speech is the same thing as indirect speech. Okay. And if you were listening and you remember what we said regarding reported speech, okay, we said that we don't use quotation for reported speech. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to rewrite the following sentences, okay? Right, please excuse, oh, it's actually fine, right? So you are going to have to answer from number 6 to number 13, okay? Basically, you just have to rewrite the following sentences in reported speech. As you can see currently right now, they are in direct speech, so you have to change them to indirect speech. Okay, I'm just going to give you a few minutes to do that. And then we are going to mark it together. Guys, if you have any questions or something that you don't understand, please ask me. Do not continue if you're not sure about something. Okay, which number are you guys busy with currently? Which number are you busy with currently? Number 9, okay. Thank you so much, Pamela, for your question. That is why, guys, I said if there's anything that you don't understand, you must ask me, okay? So number 12 and 13, they were on purpose like that because I wanted to see if you guys are able to spot something that is just not right, okay? So this is what you have to do as well, even during exams, okay? If there's something that you do not understand or you feel like it's not making sense, ask, okay? Don't just continue with something that you do not understand, okay? So sorry, Pamela, that was on purpose, okay? So when you get to number 12, okay, it says rewrite the following sentences in a more formal manner, okay? So this is the sentence until accept us, okay? So you have to rewrite that in a formal manner. Remember, we did, just like last week, we did formal and informal writing, and we did polite language as well, okay? So if you were not in any of those lessons, it's still fine. I want you to attempt writing that sentence in a formal manner, okay? Just attempt writing it in a formal manner. Right. And also, we did punctuation. That is for number 13. Okay. So when you get to number 13, says explain the use of the ellipses, 3 dots in the sentence. Okay. So with punctuation, I did teach you guys that those 3 dots, what are they? Why are they being used in certain texts, and what is their definition as well as their meaning or their use? Okay. But if you don't know, it's still fine. Just attempt and then we will discuss the answers together. Okay. Or you can just go back to the extract and see how they have been used, those 3 dots, and just try to, explain according to your own understanding their use in that sentence. Okay, guys, by the way, the type of questions that I'm asking you, this is how they are going to appear during exams. So I just want you guys to get used to these types of questions, okay? Yeah, you must be familiar with explaining. You must be familiar with supporting your answers. You must be familiar with using formal language and polite tone. Those are the things that you're going to come across when you are doing comprehension and language. Okay, guys, if you're finished, please indicate on our chat box and say that you're done so that we can get to mark this. Or if not, I might have to give it to you guys as homework. So if you're finished, please say finished on our chat box. Or you can just tell me which number are you guys currently busy with. Okay, James is busy with number 10. Okay, Portia, let me type your question. Can you please unmute Portia? Oh, are you done? Okay. It's good. James, are you still busy? Pamela, are you still busy as well? I want to make sure that by the time we get to Mark, everyone did get a chance to attempt. Okay. I see that you guys are finished. Okay, let's start marking. Okay, so before I do this, are you guys comfortable with being unmuted? Because for this section, I want to hear you guys reading your own answers. So let's say for number 6, if Portia, you want to share your answer, then we will unmute you and then you can get to share your answer. Are you guys comfortable with that? Because I want to see and hear, I want to hear how you have managed to change the sentences into a reported speech. Okay, guys, please respond in our chat box. You can say that you are comfortable with it or you're not comfortable with it. Don't just keep quiet. Okay, let's do number 6, okay? So the instructions said, rewrite the following sentences in reported speech. Okay. So the answer here would be, okay, I just read your response, Pamela, and it's okay. Right, for number 6, the answer would be, Zenzele said bluntly that they must go to Uncle Vusi in Pretoria before their father died. Okay, if you notice, as we had said, once you change the direct speech into reported speech, the tenses, they change, okay? Tenses change, right? Okay, let's move on to number 2. So with number 2, you would say, Mpumelelo asked how they should get there. Mpumelelo asked how they should get there. Okay. And then for number 8, I hope, guys, you are marking yourselves as I'm reading out the answers. So for number 8, you are going to say, Zenzele replied calmly that they were his only brother's children and that he was obliged to help them. Okay, so we moved from saying we are his only brother's children to saying Zenzele replied calmly that they were his only brother's children and that he was obliged to help them. Okay, let's do number 9. Okay, for number 9, you're going to say, Mpumelelo replied that she knew that Gogo and Ma did not want them to bother Uncle Vusi. Okay, so we moved from saying, but I know Gogo and Ma do not want us to bother Uncle Vusi, replied Mpumelelo, to saying Mpumelelo replied that she knew that Gogo and Ma did not want them to bother Uncle Vusi. Okay, number 10. So your response for number 10, you will say Zenzele. Okay, sorry, let's first see number 10. Okay, you would say Zenzele retorted quickly that she was not good enough. Zenzele retorted quickly that she was not good enough. Then number 11. Okay, so we are going to mark from number 6 to number 11, okay? I am going to give you number 12 and 13 as homework because I really want to hear your responses, okay? So number 11, you're going to say, Mpumelelo asked whether they couldn't phone him first in case he had other plans. Okay. Mpumelelo asked whether they couldn't phone him first in case he had other plans. Okay. So do you see when you are doing indirect and direct speech, how you move from the present tense into something that happened in the past tense? Do you guys see the changes between the two? Okay, so as I said, that for number 12 and 13, you can keep them if you are done. We are going to discuss them tomorrow. And please, guys, try and be comfortable with talking. It's not as if like we can see you, we can't see you. And even if you make a mistake, you are at an advantage because we will help you out with the mistake that you have made, okay? So that by the time you get back to school, you are comfortable with these things, okay? Right, so remember number 12 and 13 we are going to do tomorrow before we start with our lesson for tomorrow. Thank you guys for your time. I will see you tomorrow.